Hi everyone, it's Dina. I'm back today with a casual beading tutorial with items from the Key Lime Pie collection produced by Bargain Beadbox. This collection came out in March of 2025 and we're going to be making some earrings today. So I've already got one of them made. So the items that you're going to need from the box itself are going to be the synthetic coral man-made lotus flower beads. You're going to need 2 for each earring, so 4 total. You're going to need the crystal faceted rondelle beads in the Sea Opal AB. These are 6x4 millimeter rondelles. You're going to need 4 for each earring, so 8 total. Then you're going to need the 4 millimeter crystal faceted cubic cylinder beads in champagne shimmer. You'll need 3 for each earring, so 6 of those total. Additional items that you will need are going to be some crimp beads, or crimp tubes. And then I'm using a crimp cover today, so we're just going to do a flat crimp with this guy rather than using the magical crimper, because I'm going to be using a crimp tube, or a crimp cover, excuse me, to make it easier to attach to the ear wire. And I just have an ear wire from my stash laying out. I have 3 colors of seed beads here. They're all Miyuki. This one is a dark hunter greenish color. Don't know the actual name of that one because it's been kind of from my stash from a long time ago, but Miyuki's number is 2048. This one is a white lined crystal AB color, and that Miyuki number is 284. And then this one is Duracoat galvanized champagne, and that Miyuki number is 4204. I'm also going to be using some soft flex wire today. And I'm using the 49 strand soft flex wire. I'm using the white quartz color, and I have just one 5-inch strand already cut off, but you'll need 2 of these cut off if you like. You can always cut off a little bit more if you feel like the 5 inches is not enough for you to be able to handle it in a comfortable way. Perfectly fine to do that. Just cut off the amount that you need that's going to be comfortable for you. If you have a bead stopper, go ahead and get at least 1 of these out, maybe 2, just depending on if you have to put your items down or not. And then extra little tools, I'm probably going to be using my bit nose pliers, but I also have my chain nose out just in case I need those. And then I have some wire cutters to cut off the wire. So go ahead and get your supplies out and then meet me back and I will show you how to make the earring. Alright, now you got all your supplies out ready to go. Let's see if we can get this to work. It took me a minute to get the first one to work, so hopefully the second one, I'm praying, will go good. So, I've already got my bead stopper on one end of the wire, and the pattern that we're going to do is we're going to start off with the champagne colors. So, a champagne seed bead, the crystal, and then the seed bead. Then we're going to pick up 3 of the white beads, seed beads. We're going to pick up 1 of the crystal white ones, white crystals. So that's what we have on there so far. Then we're going to go to our green colors. We're going to pick up a green seed bead. We're going to pick up our first lotus flower. Now your lotus flower, I have it sitting where the bottom is down here on the bottom of the flower, and then this is the top of the flower up here. This is going to be the left-hand side of the earring, so we need to flip this to where we're going through the top of the flower and out the bottom of the flower. So that way when it sits on the ear, it'll sit correctly like that. So your top is facing upwards. And then finish that out with another green bead, seed bead. Then we're going to put our crystal on because that's what we have on the other side of the lotus flower. And then we're going to copy this half again. And then this next crystal that we're putting on is going to be the center of the earring. So we have 3 white seed beads. And then we have our champagne combo. So it's a seed bead, the crystal, and a seed bead. And then that ends up being, this crystal here ends up being the center of our earring. So now we're going to copy this half going backwards again. So the next part is going to be 3 of your seed beads in the white. And then a crystal, a white crystal. Then we're going to do our lotus flower again. That combo is a green seed bead. This one we have to pick it up to where we're going through the bottom towards the top of this lotus flower this time. So we're going from the bottom to the top. That way it sits upwards when it sits on the ear, and then finish out the green section with another green seed bead. So now we got to do the last little portion right here. So add your last white crystal for this earring, 3 more white seed beads, and then we're going to end with our gold combination again, champagne color. So a seed bead, your champagne crystal, and another seed bead. And then that's the pattern for the earring. So now here comes the fun part that I always had with trying to do the first one. I'm going to move the seed beads out of the way so that way the camera doesn't try to focus on everything on my mat. There we go. So now I'm going to try to take off the bead stopper, and then this is where I had a little bit of difficulties with the first one. It did not want to go through, 2 strands of the wire did not want to go through this crimp cover, but you have to put the crimp cover on first. So it is going to fit, you just have to play with it and wiggle it in there. I ended up getting it in there after a couple of minutes, so if I have too much of an issue then I'll break off and get it on there and then come back so you don't have to sit there and watch me struggle with it. It's like it's already in there. I just got to see if I can pull it down enough to where I can grab it with my bent nose pliers. No, still can't really get in there yet. Come on, you can do it, little guy. Having pep talks with my stuff again. Oh wait, there's a wire sticking out there. Maybe I can grab it. Ooh, I think I got it. My cat is sitting in my window over here and she's staring at me because I'm talking to nobody. She's trying to figure out who I'm talking to. It's kind of funny. Okay. Yeah, I know, Cosmo. I know. I'm talking to somebody, just not yet. They'll see it here in another couple of days or so. She doesn't understand. It's kind of funny. She's like, my mommy is talking to herself too much. Okay. And see, it's on there, but it's just being difficult. Let's see if I can get it to go. Come on. There it goes. Ha ha! It's like I don't want to pull on it too hard because I don't want to break anything or strip the wire or anything like that. Okay, there we go. Now we got it down there. So I want to make sure that I'm not crossing the wires too much, hopefully, inside that crimp cover. And so I'm trying to get the crimp cover down close to the seed beads, but not too close, enough to where the seed beads, you know, the beads on the earring itself have a way of moving just a little bit. So I'm okay with where it's sitting at the moment. You can always do a double check. Once you get the first one made, you can hold it up to your second one, hold it up to your first one, and then kind of gauge and see if that's going to be close enough for you. And I'm okay with that. So with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and slip on my crimp tube, and this is just a 2x2 crimp tube. I don't remember if I said the size earlier. Of course, all that information will be down in the description as well. There we go. And I'm trying to keep my wires from crossing so that way it sits nice on the earring. So now I've got the crimp tube all the way down in the crimp cover. So I'm using my bent nose pliers because it's a little easier to get into it. And then I'm just doing a simple little squish, a simple crimp, trying to keep my wires straight, just like that. And I'm squishing it down just a couple of times just to make sure everything is good. And I think I'm okay with that. So far so good. Okay, we're getting there. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess of the wire. I have to kind of pull back. This is a stainless steel crimp cover, so it's kind of hard to move sometimes. But I'm going to try to cut off both of these at the same time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. So now I've got both of the wires cut off there, and when we close it up here in a second, the crimp cover, it should cover up everything that we just did, so that way nobody would see it. So now we're almost done with the earring already. So move these off to the side, take your ear wire, open that up, and then make sure your earring is facing in the direction that you want it to be facing in for the front, which I'm going to do it this direction, and then string on the loop of your crimp cover onto the loop of the earring of your choice. Close up the loop, and now we have a pair of earrings that actually worked out. I'm extremely happy because I was nervous with that first one that I did. Alrighty everyone, so now we have our pair of earrings made. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out my Etsy shop. I will have this pair of earrings plus all my other items that I've made throughout all my other videos will be up on my site if they're not already there to begin with. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe. Also leave a comment because I love to see all your comments and I will respond to them. Thank you again everyone. I will see you in the next video. Bye.